baptizing you. Now what
But the things we have, no man could ever take it. Just the two of us, now who could ask for more? We may not have a penny stashed away. No one knows what tomorrow brings. But as long as I have you, there's no mistaking that the world is ours to do most anything. Baby, just as long as we have love, two shoulders we can lean on if we fall. Baby, just as long as we have love, we'll have it all.
We may not have a change of clothes to wear. The price of love is all we pay. We can show the world when two hearts beat together. We don't even need to know the time of day. Let other people keep their wealth and fame. Buy clothes and fancy diamond rings. There's no price to pay for treasures built between us. We can share the world 'cause we have everything.
Baby,
Just as long as we have love.
two shoulders we can lean on.
If we fall,
Baby,
just as long as we have love,
we'll have it all.
we'll have it all.
Baby,
Just as long as we have love,
two shoulders we can lean on.
if we fall, just as long as we have love.
Two shoulders we can lean on.
If we fall,
Baby,
just as long as we have love,
two shoulders we can lean
we
on.
can lead if we fall.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So, I'm hoping that some of you rascals did not miss the midnight sun. Yes, Friday. An extraordinary Purnima day. it has been said traditionally that that day, the grace of knowledge is 1,000 times more powerful than any other day. So I hope you weren't watching TV. No grace in the TV. But in any case, beloved, I'm just thrilled to be here in this beautiful place today, and to begin to reap the grace even more abundantly. So this is dessert. This is my Purnima dessert day. So thank you for being here. Much can be said about the deeper meaning of Purnima Day. In particular, Guru Purnima is really about more than just our coming and sharing and expressing our gratitude and affection to our spiritual guru. There's many types of gurus, you see. The day is the celebration of that whole force, energy in the universe that we call guru. You see, it fell upon you the moment you came out of your mother's womb, and in some cases while you were still in it, you see. But certainly by the time you emerged out of the darkness, the deep of your first samadhi, Nirvikapa samadhi, you see, and enter into this plane of experience. The guru principle was operating in your life. It manifests first in the form of your mother. It's your first guru. Because the literal meaning of guru is that which shines into darkness to remove your ignorance. The African sage and mystic Ptahhotep said it best thousands of years ago. He said, no man or woman is born wise. Therefore the need for a teacher. And that teacher in the first form, bodily form, obviously is your mother. You see? Who taught you how to eat and what to eat, taught you how to tie your shoe, how to brush your teeth. You see? That was the guru force and principle operating, you see, through her. Fathers also become your gurus. They teach you things, they give you knowledge. You didn't know how to drive a car. You might have taught yourself, though. You're a strange bird. But ordinarily, our fathers teaches us how to drive and so forth and so on, especially in the case of the boys. But we also teach our daughters how not to dress. You can't wear that, baby girl. You're a big girl now. You see? So they give us knowledge. True? So the Adi Guru, you see, the real Guru, the ultimate Guru, the Purandani Sat Guru is God. It's God. And so Guru Purnima Day includes a celebration and an expression of our gratitude to not just our spiritual guru, which definitely has been the giver of the greatest knowledge, but to all those who has given us knowledge, you see. In Nepal, even your college professors are celebrated on the day. You see, someone taught you how to do arithmetic, someone taught you how to write your name, how to read a book. Had that guru that taught you how to read not done that, how would you have access to all these sutras, you see? So all of the myriad of forms of guru and that guru principle of the bestowal of knowledge should be a part of your expression of gratitude and celebration on this auspicious day, you see? So I wanted to make sure that we don't fall into to any kind of cultist disposition. You see, get trapped up in my guru is the only guru and all of this nonsense. That's not true. Are you with me? It's a principle. It's a force. It's cosmic. Trans cosmic impact. And it is what has caused all of us to even gather here, because we have some knowledge of the value and the importance of Purnima. It's really interesting that today coincides with a holy day at Ifa. I don't know who might be familiar with Ifa, a Kemetic African wisdom tradition. And on this day, they celebrate one of the Orishas, Aganyu. Aganyu is the fiery Orisha, known as the ferryman. He's a kind of guru force in Ifa that ferry us across the waters. So it's all good. So let's keep that in mind. We're going to first and foremost move into a little silence, if that's okay with you rascals, and you can make yourself comfortable. Those who have some meditation equipment to heighten that, you're most welcome to get to your seats. And then let's just get quiet and open up the hearts, you see. We pray for grace, particularly in moments of crisis in our life, but it's never necessary to pray for grace. Grace is already the case. The problem is our lack of receptivity, you see. That is the reminder that why we celebrate Purnima, this grace is of knowledge. It's always falling. And yes, all of those other forms of guru force that I've mentioned thus far, definitely, but the greatest load, the highest degree of grace, is the grace of that knowledge by which you may know yourself. And that is a unique level of knowledge that is only available through these bodily forms of gurus, and wherever they appear in this world, and whatever time they have appeared. Knowledge itself. To find out who you are. So, we'll get quiet and turn our cups up and try to be as receptive as possible, you see. Those of you who are ignorant and have a very high level of receptivity, just walk across the grounds out here. Nature was the first internet, and it will give you infinite knowledge. The African shamans, even on this to the day, part of their sadhana spiritual practice is to go into the forest early in the morning, around about dawn, and sit by a river. I know one rascal fell in love with a tree. I'm not going to embarrass her. But she agreed. Never had she seen anything as beautiful as a tree, right? But nature would teach you. Because it too is a manifestation of the guru principle. Fair enough? So, let's take a little bit of time here and find ourselves a seat inside and recall many of these forms of gurus that you can include in your mother, your father, in anything and everything else that has given you knowledge and removed your ignorance. And Roger Vader, I can only say one thing, that my own personal experience of the receiving of the grace of knowledge obviously has come from Basul Maharaji. So if that is the case for you, Rani Kumari, and Bilal, so, and of course Brahmaji. So on this day, try to go back to your initiation, you see?
It's that all Gilgarn personality.
That's all right, you're gonna get some grace. No harm done. On our day of initiation, you see, we are initiated into the mysteries of this place. Everyone has those primordial questions buried deep down inside of them somewhere, and at some point, they become kinetic, and your life begins to start changing, you see? Why does all of this even exist? Where does it come from? You see? Where am I going? Why is there death? Why is there life? What's going on? You see? As Marvin would put it, right? You see? What happens after death? You see? And of course, who am I really? You see? On the day of our initiation, we are initiated, you see, into the process by which all of those primordial questions and all of those mysterious things that are going on around us, you see, that process by which you would have knowledge of that begins. It's an initiation, it's a beginning. Don't get it twisted. It is a process. You're taught how to use this mind-body equipment, you see, how to clean it up, you see, get straight, get your mind right, get your lifestyle right, so forth and so on, you see. The Guru principle in force begins to wash you up, rehabilitate you, you see, and it takes you through a process. Cleaning your body up, then it cleans your mind up, etc., etc. You all know the drill, right? And you begin to acquire some knowledge that removes your ignorance, that has been the basis of the way you have been doing life up until that very moment. That's what makes this a precious lifetime. Are you with me? You might have had all kinds of forms of the Guru principle in previous lives, but in this lifetime, you see, initiation to real knowledge, you see, begins in all of our cases. Taught how to cultivate some viveka so that you can see things the way things really are, and thus be liberated from your state of pure fantasy. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Trapped in the ignorance of your likes and your dislikes, so forth and so on. I'm just warming up, you know what I mean? So be patient with me, right? You know the Orisha that is called Agunyu in Ifa is identified with volcanoes, fire, you see, tapasia, you know. It is that force that gets your attention, sends your crisis here and there. Pay attention to what's going on here. So it might get worse today, so I'm apologizing now, okay? So don't come later in the afternoon to charge me with violence here. But love can be violent when necessary. Parents know that, right? Yes. So we'll find a quiet space inside of us, this body mind. There is a place, but there's peace in this place, you see. So those of you who have found your way to the Ajna Chakra here, behind these two eyes, take your seat of where you are really at, operating in this body mind, you see. And we'll do some simmerance, some remembrance of this great gift that has been given to us by the Adikuru that we call God. I bear witness, I'm much better off as a result of that. You see, right? And I think those who also have gurus can appreciate that. Correct, Kalyana? Yes. This is my old friend. And finally we are here again. Right. It was a long journey from Baba Mukana. And I just seen some tea. But we're here. So we're gonna celebrate. Tony Sam, you just here for the ride. Okay? So don't get excited. Yes. So I have selected a shirt. And those of you who know me, I draw principally upon the portfolio of Motown. In particular, for Smokey Robinson, because his music is full of all kinds of things about love. You see? And how can you not know the one that taught you the ultimate knowledge? You see? When you grow up, you'll automatically begin to love your mother and your father. You see? Because you have grown in wisdom and you understand that they taught you things. Remove knowledge, remove ignorance, and give you knowledge that has improved the quality of your life. You see? True? So, I'm much better off. Maestro, nice. I think we have a study group in the building too.
Yeah.
So not too loud, but loud enough. You know what I mean? But loud enough. And you all take a minute while he gets set for that and find your spot somewhere in this place. Sit down, get quiet, get in touch. Or you can do it in place. Doesn't matter.
How long
for Santi will make you do. You agree? Yes. Quickly, quickly. So running, you have the bills as well? Oh, she went to the washroom? No, she was supposed to sit.
Somebody.
All right. Well, let her do her puja. All right, so I think we can have a little satsang and a little sharing. Make yourselves comfortable again. Take to your seats. And you can come forward. I believe the agenda has a place out where you were asked to give your own testimonies and share your own way of expressing your own feelings of gratitude for the gift that our gurus come and give us. To initiate us into that process by which we can achieve the highest kind of knowledge that is uniquely capable of disappearing the profound ignorance in which we have been trapped for countless lifetimes. You see, too many to even give a number for it. Pissing it away. And a futile search for happiness and peace of mind. Coming into this into this physical plane. Over and over, just to die and repeat the same nonsense. And it is only until by grace we encounter the Guru force that we achieve that by which achievement one finds happiness. You see. Breaks the misidentification of this consciousness that is sitting in your body with the body. You see. All suffering is the result of identifying that which you are with that which you are not. And until that ignorance is removed, the ignorance of misidentification with the body-mind, until that degree of ignorance is removed, then you have no choice but to come here again and again and again, do the same stupid shit, then die, never having found what you're looking for. Hmm? And they give us that knowledge, that divine knowledge, you see. In the Vedanta tradition, the Advaita Vedanta tradition, you're given that knowledge as a kind of phrase that they refer to when one awakens, and realize, right? And I know you scholars, you all know all these things, but I'm just here to remind you. See? And then finally you're able to say, Nate Deho, right? Not Twam Deho, Nate Daho, right? I'm not this body, you see? Nor is the body mine. It belongs to nature, right? Both the Karata Navata Baba, right? I'm not the doer. I'm not even the enjoyer. The mind is what enjoys and not enjoys, right? Siddharuti, right? Sada Sachi. I am only consciousness itself, right? Nirapeksha Sukha Bhava. Nothing touches me. Like space. You see space in this room. This room bursts into flames. Space is not. It's not touched. You see? Neither are you. Nothing bad is happening to you. Nothing wrong is happening to you. None of what you think is happening to you is actually happening to you. See? It is just out of your ignorance that you think it's you who are suffering. You're not even suffering. You don't even have any problems. Niraveksha. Understand this. Sukhambhava, and thus be happy. You see? In the traditional Chalaism, you see, Kashmir Chalaism, once one goes through neti, 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 neti. Removing all of those things you are identified with, but are not. And when that process is completed, then iti begins, you see. And in that moment you are able to say truthfully, Shirananda Rupam Shiva Om Shiva. I am this. I am Shiva. I am that which you are looking for. You are, in truth, what you've been looking for is you. This is divine consciousness, in contradistinction to egoic consciousness. So perhaps in the course of the day you'll find some place out here on these beautiful grounds and sit for a while, stand back, examine what you're up to. Socrates said it very clearly. An unexamined life, it's not even worth living, because it's no life at all. You see? Eyes, but you cannot see. Ears, but you cannot hear. No fooling, no kidding. So, it is by the grace of the Guru, you see, then, that we come to know thyself. Because there is no other way to become happy, capital H, in the real sense of the word, about self-realization. Read a Himalayan mountains of books. Nothing gonna change for you. You will still remain the way you are. Hence the grace is required. And sometimes that grace don't hurt. Gonna hurt, right? So the grahata, it's a kick in the ass, you see. Depends on each individual. So I will stop here. We don't want to go too far because lunch is around the corner, right? Gotta have that lunch. So I want to turn the agenda back to what it was designed to do. We have some poets. Any poets? We do have some poets. All right, let's make room for our poets. Roger Beer, is there anybody has submitted music?
Yes.
Okay, and then we can have some of them come forward. And where's
Ready.
here, beloved? Give those to her. And let poetry and let music explain what I cannot say with words, real discourses. Is there a mic over here?
Yes.
Let's get to it.
All right, let's
For my
start.
poets, line them up.
Arya,
Line up.
Gurataji, Gurudasa, Paravakaji, Prakasaji, Damamaji, no, Mamaji, and Rani Kumari on behalf of the law.
Okay, are you in line over there? Get them in line. Line them up. Get in line. What do you understand? Get in line, face the wall. You see,
Didn't even have the song up.
follow the instructions.
Then we gotta turn this on. This is on the song.
I don't know.
Mukherjee, the Mahan of the poets, who's going first?
Arya,
Arya Sahi. Come below. Right, shake it with us.
Young master, you got a way of making me rap through all the poetry I wrote. Right. Searching in the midnight sky, lost in a small piece of you, I've been holding on to like desire is one's fondest wishes. Holding on to you like parachute strings while falling out of the sky. Oh, beloved, you are my life. You are the very impulse to breathe. You are the sun setting in the horizon. You are the light by which I find my way through joy as well as the vicissitudes in life. O Holy One, awaken your slave more to your beauty in all things. Spike the punch in your living me. Bless those who come around me with your love. Smite any reaction from thee less than your perfect nature. Confuse your servant to the point of surrendering in your oneness if you should even glimpse back at times before love rained down. Thy pain lies in separation from you. I have gone I'm going mad from time to time in your glory. I'm going mad singing your praise. I'm going mad, my love, forgetting who I was before just a minute ago. Now drunk in your glory, lost in your love. You are the one sitting here. I give up my life so that you may thrive. All praise due to God.
All praise. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I have two short little expressions from Sri Nisargadatta that I call the smoking guru. And what he says is that the real does not die. The unreal never lived. Once you know that truth happens to the body and not to you, you just watch your body falling off like a discarded garment. The real you is timeless and beyond birth and death. The body will survive as long as it is needed. It is not important that it should live long. I am that. He goes on to say, truth can only be expressed by the denial of false in action. For this, you must see the false as false, Bhavika, and reject it, Viraja. Renunciation of the false is liberating and energizing. It lays open the road to perfection.
Beautiful. Nisargadatta Ji Maharaj. Yes.
I'm reading a poem from Rumi. It's untitled. It's a little bit long. Borrow the beloved's eyes. Look through them, and you will see the beloved's face everywhere. No tiredness, no jaded boredom. I shall be your eye, and your hand, and your loving. Let that happen, and things you have hated will become helpers. A certain creature always prays long and with enthusiasm for thieves and muggers that attack people on the street. Let your mercy, O Lord, cover their insolence. He doesn't pray for the good, but only for the blatantly cruel. Why is this? His congregation asked. Because they have done me such generous favors. Every time I turn back toward the things they want, I run into them. They beat me and leave me nearly dead in the road. And I understand again that what they want is not what I want. They keep me on the spiritual path. That's why I honor them and pray for them. Those that make you return, for whatever reason, to God's solitude, be grateful to them. Worry about the others who give you delicious comforts that keep you from prayer. Friends are enemies sometimes, and enemies friends. There's an animal called an ushkur, a porcupine. If you hit it with a stick, it extends its quills and gets bigger. The soul is a porcupine, made strong by stick beating. So a prophet's soul is especially afflicted because it has to become so powerful. A hide is soaked in tanning liquor and becomes leather. If the tanner did not rub in the acid, the hide would get foul-smelling and rotten. The soul is a newly skinned hide, bloody and gross. Work on it with manual discipline and the bitter tanning acid of grief, and you'll become lovely and very strong. If you can't do this work yourself, don't worry. You don't even have to make a decision. One way or another, the friend who knows a lot more than you do will bring difficulties and grief and sickness as medicine for you. As in the moment when you're beaten and you hear checkmate, you can finally say, with Halah's voice, I trust you to kill me.
Is that how you do it? You know, there's something about poetry. You see, traditionally, dependent upon the initiate, the gurus know how to work with us. You see, some of us are more intellectual, more head-oriented, and so, for instance, they'll take us down Janamarga, path of knowledge. You see, some are more, you know, physical and so forth. So the yoga marga is for you. And then for rare souls, I guess like them, he takes them down Bhakti Marga. And he tells them, you don't have to read those Himalaya mountains of books. For you, you read Rumi, you write poetry, you get to know Fari Undin Muhammad. You see, you're a different kind of soul. You can feel the truth. It's not a matter of logical analysis and deductive reason for you. Poetry, please.
What to say? What to say? What to say, dear Guru, this Purnima day? Knowing mere words will not suffice. My intent, dear Guru, is to creatively entice. These emotions, so unpredictable and unstable, I attempt artfully to harness and hone, to express my best, to give my heart to thee for the love that you have shown. So amazing, this sinner, to be bowed in your presence, unworthy, unclean, blessed beyond measure with gifts still yet unseen. Many times I've been faint at heart. I'd crumble and then I'd fall. Then arise in the early dawn, determined to stand tall. It's unspeakable that I stand before thee, still dazed and impure, fighting a war I never thought I'd endure. In a reality of uncertainty, I'm convicted one thing is true, that trusting in your grace, I shall always do. Whatever the results, whatever outcome there will be, I shall never again doubt in your love, which I see. A lifetime, perhaps a few, I know not the day, when this all shall perish and all fade away. For now, this moment, I shall cherish as I sip the lover's wine, enjoying the moonlight well beyond mere mind.
Deep in the sided chamber of the rose, there was a fattened worm. He looked around and he spied a relative and spoke at him. It seems to me this world is very good. A most unlovely world, said Brother Worm, for all of us are piteous prisoners. And if, declared the first, your thought is true, and this is a prison B, me likes it well. So well that I shall weave a song of praise and thankfulness because the world was wrought for us and with such providential care. My brother, I will shame you into singing. Then cried the second, I shall raise a voice and see what poor apologies are made. And so they sang, these two, for many days. And while they sang, the rose was beautiful. But this affected not the songful ones, and evermore in beauty lived the rose. And when the worms were old and wiser too, they fell to silence and humility. Unmasking have we come, too late, too soon, unasking from this plot of earth our sin. But we, the sons of noble discontent, use half our lives in asking for the moon. And if you find the solitary sage who speaks what is true, then you find the Lord of men, the guardian of the wind, the victor of all armies of age. That's it?
That's it. This poetry. Somewhere Hafiz says that when he's not writing or reciting it, he just remains silent. Thank you. Trying to get up schools. Good.
I think so. I'm gonna do a reading on behalf of Bilal. It's from the Philosophy of the Masters, the abridged edition, and it's a little long, but I'm gonna go for it. It says, intense longing has a very deep influence because of this powerful current of energy. Once it is established, no other impressions can enter the mind. Such a devotee completely forgets his body and his clothes because he is being pulled by the magnet of the remembrance of the Lord, and his mind is completely absorbed in contemplation of the Lord. If we are being pulled towards something or somebody all the time, we will ultimately merge into that form. There are innumerable people in the world who are longing for worldly objects, but in this longing, they are interested only in material things. It is most difficult for people of this kind to follow the path of spirituality. There is no worldly method by which one can find release from this world. All longings are worthless, with the exception of an intense longing for the Lord. All others lead to distraction. It says, Sham Tabriz told Maulana Rum, "O my son, there are 9 signs which distinguish the lovers of God. They heave cold sighs. The face is pale. The devotee wishes to have communion with the Lord, but it is not in his power. Every time he thinks of the Lord, he cries out, and the teardrops from his eyes are hardly able to extinguish the burning fire in his heart. The eyes are always wet. He eats sparingly. He sleeps little. Deep sleep does not come to him. He sighs continually. He is restless, impatient to behold the Lord. He moans continually. When the fire of separation kindles in the heart and the smoke from it is not visible, only he who has experienced it or who has kindled it knows it's there. Only one who has been wounded knows the pain. No one else does. This fire burns within, not outside, and it produces water in the form of tears, which try to extinguish the fire. No one has been united with his beloved through mirth. Whoever has attained communion with him has done so after shedding many tears. If it were possible to meet the beloved, while laughing and in a state of comfort? Why should one suffer the anguish of separation? The people of the world are happy, they eat and sleep. Kabir alone is unhappy. He is awake and is crying. Oh Kabir, keep away from the life of pleasure and attach yourself to crying, for without it, how can you find your beloved? And Mirabah says, I have been counting the stars and passing the whole night in wakefulness. When will the time of happiness come? Oh God, my Lord, meet me and never again separated from me. Oh Lord, since you have been separated from me, I have been restless. If I listen to hymns in your praise, my mind becomes restless, for I find solace only in songs of intense longing for you. With my eyes open wide, I am looking at the path whence you will be coming, and the night has become as long as half a year. To whom should I tell my story of separation? Oh, my friend, to whom should I relate the story of my separation and intense longing? It is cutting through my heart like a saw. When will Mira's Lord meet her and give her joy by removing her anguish?
This is the Bhagwan to state that the bhakti experiences. All saints have said that without bhakti, nothing is going on. Bhakti is the path of love. Even to succeed in the yoga marga, you must have love. Gyan yoga, jnana yoga, you see, all useless without love. This love is thread through all of the variety of means by which aspirant seeks union with himself, the beloved self. And there are many, many ways that people throughout time have resorted to achieve that state that Kabir talks about. The dissolution of the psychological self, the empirical self, the self you think you are, must be dissolved. And bhakti is the elixir when drink from this poetry, you see, and Sufism, you see. There's not these long, arduous discourses. It's poetry, music, you see, that generates that feeling of longing. And until they'll mention it, they'll call it a muchala. But that's just a word for you. You remember it. Oh, yes, okay. First, you see, I have to have a vika, then I have to have a rajya, then the katsambatis, the 6 forms of wealth, right? And then some muchala. It's just an intellectual concept, you see. They don't cry when they read the Vedanta. There's no bhava, there's no feeling. to touch the heart. They have their place, they have their value, don't misunderstand me. But they must be grounded in this, this moment. That makes a moth disappear into the flame. It is this Mabuchuva that make willows stand straight. And then Rumi said, that transform grapes into wine. And it would transform, as Maharaji said, puny human beings like us into gods. So, thank you, poets, for reminding us what the bottom line is here. You see, there's talk of love, and then there's real love. There's silent words. So far, so good. Okay. I think we ought to get ready to make our transition into lunch. You see? And we can get a little food in the body and reconvene, I believe, at 1:30?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, I think before we do that, I think that's it, beloved. I don't see.
We got, she wants to sing a song. She doesn't have a poem, but she wants to sing a song.
You want to sing a song?
Yes.
Come on then, girl. We got a minute or two. Roger Beard, can you come first? Can you come just 1 minute? All right. You ready? Were you scared?
No.
All right, let's-
I'm waiting on the music.
Oh, you're waiting on your music.
I want to sing it with the music.
All right.
Sang for concert.
Music. Speaking of which, a little Savor Day goes a long way, don't it? I know you guys missed it, so I thought you'll have a little taste for today. And this mystery of love, you see? Because every initiative at some point try to figure out why did these gurus put up with us, you see? What is the cause, the secret, if you will, of their love and devotion for us? Their tolerance, their patience. What's in it for them? Why are they doing this here? Are they crazy? They do look crazy. What is it, that make them hang on crosses and lose their heads for us? You see? What is that? And we can't find any reason for that. When pressed, all they simply say is that this is the way nature planned it. Come on, boys.
Baby, don't find it.
Yeah, if you feel like giving me a book, I just plenty of room up here for you. Huh? Yes. All right. The rotations.
Where the rest of it?
The rotations. That's for rotations.
That's a rotation back there.
Get up there. All right. Let's music.
Sing that.
Do you know how long a tree lives? Or the reason it grows? You may ask me all these questions, but darling, no one knows. It should be clear, I really hope. Drop the don't ask me why, I just do. Do you ask the Lord who loves you? Why did he make the sky clear blue? It's the way nature planned it. We will make stay together. It's the way nature planned it. Oh, don't ask me how long I love you. When you go, my heart aches. I'll never leave you. Girl, all my life, just you and me. 'Cause it's the way nature planned it. Come on, boy. Stay together. It's the way that nature planned it, girl. I'm a big girl.
in the morning.
That's all right. Good. Shit happens.
All right.
All right. Yes. I have to let us wait 1 minute.
Sorry, I threw the plans off.
Okay, that's okay. No, you are the part of the plan. Listen, you rascal, come for this beautiful gift. Thank you. All right. Come back. Tony side. And this is for my teacher.
Hand them out. Go on.
You go that way.
Be careful.
Give me a song as they pass around these roses.
Yeah, this is going for you.
This is so beautiful, you see.
I get it.
Tony Saab, thank you so much for your gift. They are very symbolic of you. So you are a gift. Please do this as quietly as possible. Can you do this as quietly as possible, please? Thank you.
There's something that I wanna give you. I'm gonna give you a 5 box of love with $1 million bill on diamonds on every corner, and the big black gold for a lot. Use my heart for a key. I wanna pay you back. I wanna pay you back. I wanna pay you back for loving me. Pay you back for loving me. Gonna give you a cloud of the sweet one, and you turn around there to rely on. Love around every corner, or wherever you might be. Hold you tight, what tenderly. I wanna pay you back.
Come close this for
I wanna pay you back for loving me.
Bring it in. Well, y'all know how to do a line. Come on.
In us hiding it, baby. What's the use in turning away? When you can be happy each and every day.
This is how we do it, man. This is how we do it.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. I need it.
All right then. Go ahead.
Let's go eat. Yes, sir. Where's Pedagogy at? Never too late for Pedagogy.
She said for me to read.
Not you want to use your body to do her service, huh? Oh, this is too much. Let me see how this goes. I heard about strange phenomena like this. Go right ahead, beloved. Hmm?
Life without guru is wasted. Human life is wasted if a perfect guide who can join the broken link and take one to the other shore is not found, and if works pleasing God are not done. Forsaking God and running after the pleasures of the world is like throwing aside priceless diamonds and picking up useless shells. If such a one who can mend the broken connection and take one across to the other shore is not found, the opportunity is lost again, says Dedu. This body is a raft, and the world is an ocean, deep and unfathomable. How can anyone cross it and go to the other shore without the sailor? Asked Dedu. I have done nothing that could please God. My coming to this world has been in vain, O Dadu. With that face, should one laugh and talk? One is departing, having spent one's priceless life in vain. One should cry, says Dadu. The holy feet of the Lord, the very purpose for which one is to live in the world, are not within one's heart. Fie on such life without devotion to God in this iron age, O Dadu. You did what was pleasing to your mind and transgressed the commandment of the Lord. How will you show your face to that beloved? Asked Dadu. You did all to please the senses and provided all that the mind demanded, but nothing of that for which you were created was done by you. You were provided with equipment for rendering service to the Lord, but you have forgotten obedience to the Lord, and not a single work have you accomplished, says Dadu. You have forgotten God, the Lord of the universe. Though seeing, you have lost the diamond and have picked up the shell. You mistake glass for gold. You are indeed caught in the snare of delusion. Not having had a moment's awareness of truth, you place hope in falsity. That which is poison is mistaken by you for nectar. It does not accompany you. You are puffed up, seeing flowers of silk cotton. You have thus missed your chance this time. Listen to true words, O mind. Be devoted to God, and you shall develop awareness automatically. Do your work even now, says that do. Time is running out, and life is waning.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
Well, Dadu is pointing us in the direction again that we began in earlier today, you see. And of course, when you listen to that, Dadu is not talking about Dadu. Dadu is talking about us, but out of his humility, he includes himself in this category that we are in, you see. Dadu know as well as all these things that you don't have to find the Guru. When you're ready, the Guru finds you. You see. But Dadu Sahib was describing, you see, is what we're up to, literally, because many of us don't have the clarity or the introspective ability to see and honestly see what you really up to. You see? In your imagination, you think you're up to something different than what Dadu has just expressed. But in reality, you're up to the same thing, fundamentally. And wasting time. You see? As if your body mind, which is who you think you are, is something that lasts forever. You see? This thing started dying the moment you came out of the womb. This is elements here. This is matter. It has a shelf life, and it weakens over time. You see? So some of us in here on the cane, or we're going to be on the cane sooner or later, right? Yes, you reach that age where you can't run a marathon no more. You see? That element, that strength is gone. And so living as if you are immortal is the greatest sin of all and the major source of all of our suffering and sorrow. Buddha said nothing is permanent. Nothing. Capital E. Nothing is permanent. Newness, the Sufi poet says it best, said, no one's here forever. No one's here forever, including you. And so the purpose of Dadu message is the same as the purpose of all these great Buddha's message to us. They say, get serious here. Not with our humor, not, you follow me? But get serious here. And, or be made serious. Choice is yours. You can get serious about this reality, or if you're fortunate, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says somewhere, to those whom I show all this mercy and grace for, I send you sickness. You see, I send you some kind of calamity, some kind of crisis, right? And Kashmir Shavaidam, they call it anugraha. I send you grace. You see, grace. It's not what you think. You think is winning the lottery, finding the right man, right woman that now will miraculously make you happy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Your kids will start acting right. You see, you know, that's delusion.
Yes, sir.
You see, that's delusion. No, He's gonna send you some grace that will make you serious. Are you with me? Because you must become serious or made serious, you see. And when you become serious, then the universe lines it up, right? So in the tradition, you see, there's two kinds of gurus. It's the kind that Dadu is talking about, and then is your own mind, Mamuka. You're a disciple of your mind. You're a disciple of what you believe. You're a disciple of what you think. You're a disciple of your so-called understanding and wisdom. You see? That's a mamuk. That's not a guru book. That's a mamuka. You see, masquerading as a guru. But you can tell the difference because following their mind, the signs are always there. You're bitching, you're moaning, you're unhappy, you're complaining, you have no compassion, you try to hold everybody's feet to the fire, you want to win at everything, and you don't want nothing bad to happen to you or your kids or your wife. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Selfish.
Yes.
Following your mind as guru has simply made you selfish. Pathologically selfish. And you don't even know it. You're too ignorant to even know that. You see? So Dadu, you see, knows us better than we know ourselves. And he warns us that does all mystics that you're wasting a human lifetime. This is precious human lifetime. The Buddha says that the chances of getting this body again and meeting the Dhamma and so forth and so on is as likely as a turtle at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean emerging all the way up to its surface and find some way, a ring that it can slip through. Almost zilch. And then you're back down in the water somewhere. And they're not trying to be boogeyman either. They're trying to tell you how it is. Are you with me? So that you don't waste this precious human lifetime. You see? Living in a world full of fantasy. So thank you, Paravakaji, for submitting that reminder to us. And if y'all don't like what was said, see her. I came here minding my own business. She's the rascal, right? So, Roger Vida, I think you have had some requests for music?
Yes, sir.
All right, then who all requested music? Oh, good, line up. Because I want you to reflect for a moment and tell me what did your music trigger in you? What you see? How did it touch you? What was the message of your music? You see? And then share a little bit of that with us. Are you with me? Because music, like poetry, you know what I mean? It's very individualistic. It's a very unique thing. You see, it's very subjective, if you will. So we would love to hear not only your music, but the heart. There he goes.
I got to get it over with.
You got okay.
I got to get it over with.
Yeah.
Because I want to enjoy.
Okay.
All right. I want to enjoy.
All right.
And my selection was by the Spinners. Can I ever repay your love? All right, because sometimes you think about all the wonderful people that have loved you. All right? You think of everyone, just like you begin today's session in terms of, the love in which that your parents give you, the love in which that your siblings give you, the love in which that your children give you. But nothing compares to the love in which that the Guru gave you, the love in which that you gave me. I didn't even know what love was. I really didn't. Love was a selfish thing. It was very selfish. All right? Until you held a mirror and let me reflect the kind of love that was important, the kind of love that only God can give. The only love in which that God can give. And that love is so special because, again, it's not predicated on anything. It's just general, it's just pure, and it's without thought. All right? And sometimes, when I'm alone and sitting and just giving thanks for everything that occurred in my life, everything that occurred, and everything that did occur in my life had no meaning until I encountered you. And you gave everything a meaning. Everything that was worth breathing for had a special meaning to it. And I just want to say to you that I can never repay the love in which that you've given me. Never, never, never. And I'll shut up because
you're embarrassing me.
That's too much.
That one right there, brother. The Lord over there, yeah, sit down. Well said, beloved, you see? And yes, that's so true, isn't it? You know what I mean? You think about all of the Maharaji, 1.5 million devotees. Not 35,000, not 33,000, not 200 or 300, 1.5 million. And I can remember all of us were trying to write letters to him at the same time to get some attention, because that's what we up to. A lot of times we're not contacting the Guru for knowledge, we contact the Guru for attention, to make ourselves feel special, as if we're Guru and really capable of arrogating to ourselves love for God. That looks a certain way. That shows up a certain way. When Sardar Bahaduji stands on the veranda way late into the night, not moving because Great Master stand out there till I'm finished. And can't nobody make him go home. You don't say, oh shit, it don't look like he's coming back, he's just standing there. That's love for Guru. You see? It's what makes you get up when you're tired in the morning. It's what makes you stay awake when you're doing your meditation. Feel what I'm saying? And anything short of that, just the ear. Just mimicry. said, Roger, absolutely right. When you really get there, that's a game changer. Then you can follow what is recommended in the Buddha Gita. Guru said, disciple do. Question about that. Farid, and may his poetry be blessed forever, says that he has one regret. Otherwise, his discipleship was perfect. And that regret was on one occasion. He disagreed with his sheikh. And he regretted it the rest of his life. In spite of his attainment, even when he became enlightened, still it was a taint. So did him. We're far too trapped in our ragas and devesas, our likes and our dislikes, to arrogate to ourselves the status of a dhatu. You can't get there through rhetoric and wishful thinking. See, that's what poetry is. 1.5 million. All of us writing letters, trying to get a little attention. Being a rascal myself, I'm asking questions, I already know the answer. I read all these books, anybody that knows me a bit to my, and I went through all this because I have a PhD in philosophy. I read all this shit. Started when I was 13. Read all the something out. Okay, so I knew the answer. I just wanted some what?
Attention.
My Roger wrote back to me and told me stop wasting his time. He had a lot of other people over here. Really seriously. You know what I mean? If there's something you don't know, you got all them books over here. You go research. You just want some attention. You don't even want the answer. You just want the attention. Because when you even given the answer, you don't do it. So clearly you didn't want no answer to what you should do. When given, you don't do it. So I said, boy, stop playing with me. I'm busy over here. But seriously, you all know what I'm talking about. You see, that's what the Mamu does. So, let's hear that song, because said, Ryan, you're absolutely right. We can never repay that. Not possible. Not possible. Not possible. You can't even repay your mama who gave you birth. How you gonna do that? You see? You see? In some Eastern tradition, you see, the guru is called Lama. That's a male mama. Now, how you gonna repay your lama if you can't even repay your mama? How you gonna do that? How do you repay somebody? Suckled you. You see, fed you, nurtured you. You would have never survived. Impossible, right? In African tradition, they understood that. And they would go back home and have that debt forgiven before their mama died. Has to get her to forgive, because you cannot repay it. Same with the loan. How will you repay that? You can try, you can do all the things, but how can something that is finite satisfy that which comes from the infinite? Do the math. So at least be humble enough to confess, I can never repay the love, my struggle.
mercy. You've been my all in all when no one else would care for me. And you showed me the true meaning of love. In a world of hatred, you showed me compassion. I could never repay your love. Oh, no, your love. Where now you've been true. Yeah. sunshine, you're my wife. I love you, babe. I need you, babe. I'll always have you by my side. Girl, I'm gonna keep you satisfied. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. That's Chakti and Shiva. You see, they say that our soul lost in the world is to God what a wife is. You see, and Isis and an Osiris. You see, a wife that goes across the world and help put a man back together. That's Isis. That's the consort of an Osiris. Shakti is the consort, you see, of a Shiva. Radha is a consort of a Krishna. So somewhere, someone must have prayed for us. I don't know who, but whoever you would thank you. Maybe it was a wife from a previous lifetime. Maybe that paid off. I don't know. Maybe it was your husband came and got you. Maybe it was a son who in a previous lifetime you were their mama. And he came and got you this time. Even though you're walking in a male body. Wow, this is going to be difficult. I can see that right now. Okay, who's next? Come, who's next?
I chose the same song I choose all the time. Because You Love Me by Celine Dion. And that song just embodies what I feel that you've given to me, to all of us. The example of how to love, the example of how to be compassionate, the example of how to be a friend. So, the song is Because You Love Me. I don't know about Sackaroo. I asked you once before about, and you said, oh, that's Sackaroo. I don't know Sackaroo. I know you. And I thank you. That's Sackaroo.
You better stop playing that song. This ain't fair. This ain't fair. Are you up to the same thing they up to? You're dead.
Okay, so can you hear me? Check that out. I'll take my hands down. So the song that I have is called Find Me by Maurice Mahone. And this song reminds me, because I am such an avid reader, I like to read so many different things, but to really come down to it, that the essence that's beneath all things, all material, immaterial things, is that one, called by many names: Olodumare, Shakti, Shima, Mau, Lisa, Amen. These are all names to describe that one. And in this song, it talks about how you don't have to look for me. I'm walking behind thee. And so that reminds me of the relationship that I have with the Guru. I don't have to find him. All I got to do what I'm supposed to do, and tell him, there he is.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Ideas. You won't have to find me. So please see that you won't be free. You won't have to find me. I'm gonna find me. So please see that you won't be free. Let's go. Stand my ground. I couldn't miss around. It's like my time is in a bottle. We can stay around so long, but I won't become correct. Baby, get your feet on my neck. You don't have to find me. You're not behind me. Understand clearly. You want to be free. It's the time that you spend making me think within. It's the trust you beginning. Fade away from the memory of the day. Is it me to see? Shoot is real, so you don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind me. It's so clear to see, baby, that you want me free. You don't have to find me. Come on, leave that boy.
You want some of this here?
You can call me trouble. Got a fight from the side of the street. Baby, girl, you call me. At the time that I feel your presence around me, it's something that I can't let go. It's time around. I just want to hold you. Walking right behind me. It's so easy. That you want to free. I just want to come correct. To flip the wreck. And just before you just leave, I've been trying to tell you I can't breathe. You don't have to find me. You're walking right behind me. So we'll see that you want to
That's the remix.
You don't have
All right. Very good, very good, very good. So that's grace. You see, when the cheddar is ready, the guru will appear because the guru is walking right behind you all this time. Even when you was in your mother's womb, you see, he was watching you. You don't have to find. You'll find you when you're ready to be found. Closer to you than your next breath. Never been absent. You just weren't paying attention. Oh boy, this is really, how much more of this I gotta do? Yes, beloved. I'm shaking.
Stand closer, you know it. The song that I picked is by Ron Isley called Close to You. This song just touched my spirit before I said throughout the day. It just kind of run in my head, and it just always remind me of you. There's so many songs that remind you of me, but this one in particular really just speaks bars as regards to you being present, your presence and everything. So this song is just, this song, what else to say? It's all love. So, shake it.
Shake up.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, oh, they long to be close to you. Oh, on the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkle moon dust in your hair, gold and starlight in your eyes of blue. No, that is why all the guys in town, they follow you. So close to you, so close, so close. I wanna be just you and me, so close to you. Let's stay close.
You all ready? This is gonna be a tap dance show.
Standing with my initiation twin. Okay, my song is You Are My Friend. It's a version by Patti LaBelle.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever I listen to that song, it reminds me of a divine joke on me. Because of what seemed like I was always looking for in life and what I wanted, what I thought was part of my spiritual heritage. I was right in the house with it all along. I didn't even know it. So I say this is my divine joke on me. And just the way she sings the song and carry it out in the end, it's like that whirling dervish, because she's happy about it. She's happy about it, you know. And she was looking around, sort of like the song Anuka sang had, but it was there all along, all the time. So that's my story.
And you're sticking to it.
That's right.
because one of my brothers used to always say, Surachi, that we were a Sangha born together. Reconvene after countless lifetimes of separations. It was a rendezvous on 12th place that took place. It was like Janeshwar and Muktibai, you see, coming back home. Extraordinary experience. It was more like a kamkwa, you see, where Sufis come together. And friendships that transcend biological level occurred. And, you know, in the Sufi tradition, your guru is your best friend. They're the shape, you see. And the Shishi are their friends. In Sufi initiation, part of that ceremony is a culmination, the shape, grabbing the hand. We call it Baya. We hold hands. Something like that must have happened. Maybe Rani Kumar was remembering when she was a little girl grabbing her hand, taking her across the street. Strange things happen. And a kamkwa. In the Sufi tradition, you see this dissolution of ego occurs first within the context of the chick and the devotee. You see, found that needed chick, dissolving the me, the I, the transcendence of psychological and egoic selfishness. And that paved the way for Fanahi Allah, the recovery of your true condition. And Allah. I am God. Beautiful tradition. Patty LaBelle probably a Sufi too. Maybe she came to it. But we certainly can understand those lyrics very well. Are you going to just try to kill me, Rogerville, today?
Yeah.
Before we were friends?
Yeah.
See what's standing there. God finna come get me.
I've been spending some time with the Guru and Mukherjee and my brother. And in that moment, I'm in the moment, try to be in the moment. I thought about Earth, Wind, and Fire, the ever wonderful for you guys to hear, but I'm here in this moment now, you know, so I chose another song, looking at Bilal, seeing all you guys and the master here, he likes Luther, and Bilal likes
everything.
Well, yeah, everything, but he's a fan of Curtis Mayfield. So Luther has a rendition out. Well, his tempo for the Guru, and a little bit of Curtis for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Can
I got it.
You ever wondered what actors and actresses do when they have to get in shape really fast for a movie?
That's YouTube.
That's
YouTube.
Just let. I heard the tempo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I stopped it, I'm sorry.
Just let me love you tonight. Forget about tomorrow. My darling, won't you hold me tight? And never let me go. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to dry your eyes. No tears, no sorrow. Cling to me with all of your might, and never let